The formation of covalent bond is explained with the help of Lewis concept, that is Gauss-Lewis approach, where we have the sharing of electrons. So the atoms share their electrons to get 8 electrons, the outermost orbital. That is what we call it as octet rule. And once they get 8 electrons, they will become stable. So we are talking about stability also. So here we have discussed the Lewis dot structure and formal charges. All these things we have done in earlier videos. But this Lewis concept does not explain the shape of the molecule. And these covalent compounds have directional property. So to know about the shape, angle and the directional nature of the molecule, we need another theory called as valence bond theory given by Hitler and London. And this theory gives so many points, and this theory does not explain all the points clearly. So in order to explain, we need another theory called as the extended VPT theory given by Pauling and Slater. Then we have VSEPR theory, that is valence shell electron pair repulsion theory, and then comes hybridization and then molecular orbital theory. So in this order only we are going to do. So already we have done the Lewis concept, and this octet rule stability, this concept we are going to use in further theories also. Next we are going to, in this video we are going to do VPT theory and extended VPT theory. That is valence bond theory and the theory given by Pauling and Slater. So next we are going to do the VSEPR theory, and then comes hybridization, and then we have molecular orbital theory. So in this order we will do. We will discuss valence bond theory here. Here the orbital concept is used. You take this as one atom, this is another atom, and this is the electron of this atom and this is the electron of this atom. This is nucleus and this is nucleus of this atom. So when these two atoms approach each other, this electron start repelling the electron of this atom. So there will be a force of repulsion. Now this electron will start attracting this proton. So there will be a force of attraction. And this proton will start attracting the electron of this atom. So there will be a force of attraction. Now this nucleus will start repelling this nucleus, that is this proton will start repelling the proton of this atom. So there will be a force of repulsion. So there will be four forces operating when the two atoms approach each other. One is the electron and electron repulsion, proton electron attraction, electron proton attraction, and proton proton repulsion. So there are two forces of attraction. These two are the forces of attraction, that is proton electron and electron proton attraction. Two forces of repulsion, that is electron electron proton proton. So two forces of repulsion. So when will you have bonding? When the net force of attraction, if it is greater than the net force of repulsion, then you will have bonding. If the net force of attraction, if it is less or equal to the net force of repulsion, then there will be no bonding. Only when you have the net force of attraction greater than the net force of repulsion, bonding is possible. So once you have this condition, the orbitals start overlapping with each other. They start overlapping with each other. So the bonding will be formed. You can explain this with the help of potential energy diagram. And you have internuclear distance in x-axis, potential energy in y-axis. Now this is the position where you have two atoms, Ha and Hb. For example, these two atoms approach each other. So when they approach each other, the potential energy decreases. At this stage, the force of attraction will be somewhat higher. Therefore, still the potential energy decreases. When they reach this position, there the force of attraction is greater than the force of repulsion that overbalances this force of repulsion. So here in this point, there will be a maximum overlapping will take place. So this is the point 3 where there is a maximum overlapping of the atomic orbital taking place and the bonding will be formed. The covalent bond between Ha and Hb will be formed. And the bond distance here it is given as 74 picometer and 436 kilojoule energy is released. Here the energy is released. So the energy will be less. The energy of the molecule will be less because the energy is released. Since the energy is released, the molecule will become highly stable at this point. Now, after this, if you make them to come closer together, then the force of repulsion will be greater if it goes on increases. Therefore, the potential energy increases and there is no bonding. No bonding is possible because the force of repulsion will become higher than the force of attraction. So, no bonding is possible. When you increase beyond this, when you decrease the distance beyond this one. So only at this point there will be a maximum overlapping and the covalent bond is formed between Ha and Hb. So this is what explained with the help of this potential energy diagram. We'll summarize the points in valence bond theory. The first one, the atoms must come close together for overlapping. They should be very close enough for overlapping. Second, the orbital configuration. For example, if you take an atom orbital with this electron and another orbital with this electron, that is with opposite spin. So these two orbitals, it is half filled, they are half filled. So they will undergo overlapping and so there will be bonding possible. So they will overlap like this and so bonding is possible. So if the orbital is half filled, then they can undergo overlapping to form a bond. Or if it is fully filled, for example, you take an atom A, here atom A with two electrons and another atom B which is empty. Now these two orbitals they will overlap and they can share the electrons like this. So here also you can have bonding. So overlapping is possible. So either the orbital should be half filled or the orbital should be fully filled or empty. They can undergo overlapping and bonding will result. Now the third one, the strength of the bond depends upon the extent of overlapping. If the extent of overlapping is high, then the strength of the bond will be high. So the strength of the bond depends on the extent of overlapping. If the extent of overlapping is greater, then the bond is very strong. So these are the points given by the valence bond theory. Valence bond theory says the overlapping is possible, but the condition for overlapping is not fully explained by valence bond theory. Therefore, the Pauling and Slater, they have explained the condition for overlapping under extended valence bond theory. So the first one, the extent of overlapping depends on the nature law of overlapping orbitals. So which orbital is involved in overlapping? So based on that, the extent of overlapping will be done. The second one, the nature of overlapping. So here the nature of overlapping two ways. One is we have head-on overlapping, the other one is sidewise or lateral overlap. So there are two ways of overlapping, head-on overlapping or sideways overlapping. Based on that there will be an extent of overlapping. So based on the nature of overlapping, the extent of overlapping will be there. So based on that you will have a strong bond or not. So this is this one. The next one is when the valence shell, if it is very close to the nucleus, then the overlapping will be more. So when the overlapping will be more when the valence shell is very close to the nucleus. For example, if you have 1-1 overlapping which is greater than 1-2 overlapping which is greater than 2-2 overlapping. So 1-1 overlapping is possible here in hydrogen and hydrogen. 1-2 overlapping you have hydrogen and fluorine. Here you have fluorine, fluorine. So here in hydrogen and hydrogen you have SS overlapping. And here you have sp overlapping, here you have pp overlapping. So in ss orbital the valence, that is the nucleus is very close to the valence shell, that is you have like this s orbital where you have nucleus and the valence shell. So it is valence shell is very close to the nucleus. In this case the overlapping will be greater. So SS overlapping which is greater than next one sp overlapping, then comes pp overlapping. So this is the second one. Third one, the directional orbitals show more overlapping. For example, you can take SS orbital. So if you take SS orbital, they are non-directional. They are non-directional. So the overlapping, only one overlapping is possible, that is only head-on overlapping alone is possible. But when you take pp orbital, the pp orbitals are, they are directional in nature, so they will undergo, along with head-on overlapping, they will undergo sideways overlapping. So we can say that the overlapping is SS orbital based on this one is less compared to sp orbital, then comes pp orbital. So because the pp orbital will undergo both head-on as well as sideways overlapping. This will undergo only head-on overlapping, this also will undergo head-on overlapping. So based on this, based on the directional nature, the overlapping will be possible. So more overlapping or less overlapping is there. So this is given by Pauling and Slater under the extended VP theory. Thank you for watching.